Okay, sky replacement in Luminar 4. I'm going to run through this, and I'll say off the bat, I know this technique will probably irritate a lot of professional landscape photographers. It's 1000% a cheat, so I get that. But let's dive into it anyway, because it's pretty cool. We're going to do something like this image. So I started with this, and I ended up with this. Okay. How do we do that? Well, in Luminar, you're looking at the Creative tab here. And up here, there's a little tab for AI sky replacement. Okay. And let's undo what we've done here. So back to default, and we will choose our sky. And these are the only skies that come with the software by default. However, you can load your own sky images, which probably is the best way to go, honestly. You can download new sky images from their website, which you have to buy. And then here are the presets. So let's try, I think I had Dramatic Sunset 1. Yeah, that's the one. And off the bat, I mean, I just clicked it, and it's pretty amazing what it's doing. So it figured out all these complex shapes and built a mask around them and put a sky behind it, which is pretty impressive. And if you look, like, these are pretty complex, these birds. Like, if I actually move the position of the sky, you'll see it. Like, there's the mask. So let's back off. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I'm pretty shocked at this technology. So let's take a look at another image and get into some more of these, how this thing works. Okay, so this image, pretty bland. The sky is not the best. So let's try a new sky. And these are all my pictures, by the way. I took all these. These aren't canned pictures. These are all my pictures from Oregon. So these aren't demo pictures. These are actually my pictures. Okay, so let's try Dramatic Sunset 3. So it's pretty good. I mean, it's respecting the geometry of the bridge. As you can see, and that's before, after. Some stuff that it missed here. So if you go to Sky Global, that means how much of the sky is kind of taking over the image. You can up that. It'll reprocess to the point where kind of it, is where it needs to be. Let's back off. So if you do that and you find that, well, it got the bridge right, but not so much down here, you can kind of mess with it a little bit, but it's kind of a balancing act. The other thing you can do is actually just paint out the bottom of the what it's done down here. So just kind of like erase this stuff down here. So if you go to Edit Mask, choose a brush, and we'll do erase at 100% opacity, and then we will just paint this stuff, basically painting back in the original image. Let's back off a bit so we can see the whole thing. So now you don't need to worry about what it's missing down here. So that's nice. Oddly enough, there's no undo when you're inside of here. So if I was to accidentally like brush like that, you go, oh no, I can't undo that. I have to actually go in here and paint it back in. It's kind of weird. There's an undo after the fact. It's like an undo everything you did after this. But other than that, you kind of have to paint in or paint out what you're doing. Kind of interesting. Click Done. You can look at the mask as well. This little eyeball here. So if you want to see your mask. So I missed a spot over here. So, of course, I'm erasing. So it's saying up here is all the stuff you're keeping. Down here's the stuff you're getting rid of. All right, so I'll turn that off. Click Done. Okay, and there you go. So that's pretty cool. So next thing that I thought was interesting is if I go down to, let's try this picture here. If I replace a sky, this is kind of interesting. Let's do blue sky this time. Okay. And off the bat, once again, it's done a great job. I'm constantly in awe of what it's doing, but did a nice job of replacing this guy. But suppose I want to erase this person. it's kind of weird. If I erase this person, it kind of bakes all of my changes in, and then this sky becomes the original sky. I'll show you what I mean. So if I go here, these are the tools, and I say erase, and it's preparing. Okay, and I erase this person. I just click done, and it processes. So that person's gone now. And then if I go back to the creative tab, now it thinks this is the original sky. So if I can change the sky, but the original sky is now that one because it kind of baked in everything that I did, including the erase. So it's something to be aware of. Okay, and then to show that it's not infallible, it seems to struggle when you have objects in the foreground that are out of focus and then a background that's in focus. So you have these little pieces of grass here. So if I change the sky to a blue sky again, nice high contrast sky. If you zoom in, you can see that it kind of is not the best, you know, and I can mess with the sky global, and it's sort of like doesn't really get it all the way. It's just, it struggles with this sort of out of focus aspect. You can see here, it's just not quite getting it. I mean, you zoom out, it's okay-ish, but it's just not quite there. So it's not infallible. It's not perfect, right? But it's still pretty impressive. So I just wanted to show that. Okay, and of course, like I mentioned before, using your own sky is the best way to go because, you know, at a certain point, like these skies are going to become recognizable. People are going to be like, yeah, I saw that sky on the other guy's picture. So, I mean, it's best to go out and shoot your own skies. But I will drop a sky in here that I have. It's actually lightning. And this lightning picture actually has some trees in it, as you can see there. So we'll deal with that. You can see the bottom. But let's drop this in. All right, so, and you can see in this instance that, so here are the trees I talked about, so we'll fix that. And also, if you look at the lighthouse, it kind of missed here, so we'll change sky global. Oops, we want less. So less sky global, right? That's pretty good. There's still some here, so it's a balancing act. That's better. So then that looks pretty good. And then to get rid of this, we will need to move the sky down. So we'll do horizontal position. Just drop that down. Way down. Way down. Okay. That's more believable. I can crop out that side. So like that looks pretty cool. I mean, I like that. And there's sometimes, obviously, where it's not, there's some shots that just aren't really applicable to this kind of a application. Like this one here. Let's try some kind of sunset. And you see how it's kind of struggling here with this one. That's closer. I mean, you can see where there's probably some that work better than others. Yeah, it's really messing up there. So, you know, it has its application. Yeah, let's do something ridiculous. Let's do a starry night. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Dramatic sky, something like that. Oh, that one, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's before or after. So I could actually paint out this part. Let's try that. Like this looks pretty cool. So let's do a brush, erase, opacity 100, and let's just paint out the stuff that's here. You know, and we'll turn on that. Let's turn the mask on so we can see what I'm doing. All right, so I don't need any of this. Here, let's take a look. Yeah, let's get this done here. All right. That's kind of cool. And then let's click done. Now, I didn't mention this, but you can relight your scene based on the content you're adding. So this is kind of a, I don't know, grayish color. So if I relight the scene, it's kind of subtly relighting. It did that here too. Like if you looked at this one, you see how dark it made everything because it relit the scene. Like before, this one was pretty bright, and it relit it based on the fact that most of the sky is dark. That's kind of cool. You can turn that down too, to some extent anyway. I mean, I could paint that back in if I wanted to, but I kind of like that it's dark like that. It's really cool. If you wanted to make the sky out of focus, that's under advanced settings. Let's go down to this other one though to do that. So you can just blur out that sky. We missed over there pretty bad. Pull it back a little bit. There we go. There we go. So that's kind of cool. You can also flip your sky like that if you want to. You can change the temperature of the sky. So, more orangey or more blue. And then the sky exposure, you can brighten it or darken it. Right, so that's pretty powerful. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm excited to play around with it. I've just been going through these pictures and just like finding good ones that work with it. Yeah, these down here are pretty cool. Like this one. Would it work on a shot like this? I don't know. Let's find out. Dramatic Sunset 1. Hey, yeah. I like that. Like that's cool. I mean, look at the trees. That's really cool. That was that was one click. I mean, that's hard to argue that. That's pretty impressive. And I got other ones too. If I have a wish list for this software, I wish it could be applied to things like an object or even like something with green screen behind it, and you could just say remove object, because obviously they're very good at masking out. I mean, look at that. They're very good at recognizing complex shapes and masking them out. So I wish I could just bring anything in here, not anything, but something with a more or less complex background and say isolate the image that I want, spit that out as a PNG with transparent background. I think that'd be amazing. Or even just green screen removal. Just if I bring in an image with green screen and I say remove green screen, bam, it should be one click. I think that'd be amazing. Yeah, these work really well, I thought. These are really cool. Yeah, like this one worked really well. This was Sunset 4. I think it's funny that there's a helicopter in it. I don't know why there's a helicopter there, but it's kind of cool. And of course, after you've applied these skies, you can do all the other adjustments. There's all the adjustments in here like you see in Lightroom. All this other stuff's here. I just wanted to focus on the sky replacement aspect. I'm not going to do a whole Luminar demo. I just wanted to focus on sky replacement. This software is under $100, and there's a link in the description below for where you can download it. You get like $10 off if you order from the link I provided. So I hope this helped you guys.